Let's get back to the basics here. Why the dispute? What is each side saying? It's a question China's foreign ministry sought to answer with the release of a 4-page document detailing its rationale. CCTV's Jessica Stone is here in our Washington studio with a closer look at that. Jess.
And Elaine, we should clarify that that 4-page document is really a transcript of a foreign ministry press conference that went on for a lengthy time, as you can imagine, from 4 pages worth of text and copy today, that really sought to lay out a legal rationale for why China is making these claims, why the oil rig, in their opinion, is in the right location, and what they think about Vietnam's counterclaims. So this is China setting the stage and really saying that it has good reasons for all of it. It's really the largest and longest rationale we've seen from the Chinese Foreign Ministry. And as we've said, both China and Vietnam disagree whether this oil rig is legal. Both are party to a United Nations treaty governing these types of disputes in the ocean, and both are invoking rules set by that UN treaty to back up their claims. A little slip of sand or island called Zhongjian Island is at the heart of the argument made by the Chinese Foreign Ministry on Friday.
China set up the oil rig here, about 17 nautical miles south of Zhongjian Island. China says it has absolute sovereignty over the island, which is called Triton in English. Vietnam flat out rejects that claim. China also says the rig is some 150 nautical miles away from Vietnam, adding that Vietnam had to send ships all that way to try to disrupt the project, China's first oil rig in the area. What happened after Vietnam sent in its ships is in dispute. Each side blames the other for ramming their vessels. China counts 510 incidents since May 2nd.
It's clear that Vietnam aims to escalate the situation, or in other words, to generate media hype and put up a show for an international audience. Some media said China used water cannons at the scene, but anyone experienced with the sea would know that it has only a limited warning effect. You can only make other vessels change course without causing bodily injuries. I'd like to show you some pictures here. This picture shows the Vietnamese ship accelerating and ramming into a Chinese ship. In this picture, the Vietnamese vessel is seen ramming the Chinese vessel from behind. We're showing these pictures to show that the truth is not what Vietnam claimed days ago.
Vietnam points to the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, which both countries have signed, saying China placed its rig on Vietnam's continental shelf where it owns the mineral rights. At the ASEAN summit in Myanmar earlier this month, the Vietnamese Foreign Ministry released a statement, reading in part, quote, "Vietnam totally opposes violation actions and is determined to protect the national sovereignty and its legitimate rights in accordance with international law," end quote. At the Pentagon Thursday, the chief of China's People's Liberation Army laid some of the blame on the United States, saying the U.S. policy of shifting military resources into the Asia-Pacific, known as the Asia Rebalance, has emboldened China's neighbors.
Jessica?
Does the White House agree with Chinese PLA General Fang, who said yesterday that the Asia Rebalance strategy has emboldened Vietnam and its territorial dispute with China in the South China Sea?
No. I would simply say what I said earlier about the need for parties to these disputes to address them in a peaceful and diplomatic way, in keeping with international norms and international law.
Now, for its part, China points out that Vietnam and China have both had more than 20 diplomatic communications since this began. Both have taken various steps to resolve this diplomatically. Elaine?
And Jessica, tensions between these two countries have been rising even more this week. Have the economic ties between China and Vietnam been impacted at all?
Well, we did just learn of one incident, at least, that would indicate that the Foxconn, which of course makes our screens on our iPads and our iPhones, actually closed its factory for 3 days in Vietnam because it's also concerned about these types of protests that could lead to violence.
All right, Jessica Stone with all of that. Thank you so much for that report.